Liam, do you remember what our opening story was last month?
No. Not at all. That was like 6 weeks ago.
Do you remember how we were talking about Lex Luger, Buff Bagwell, and Rick Steiner coming in caused their locker room morale to be lower than it's ever been?
I do remember that. I remember everyone was really upset and pissed and crying and whining.
Note this month, the locker room atmosphere continues to be really positive in TNA.
Okay.
But the people are frustrated with their character development, apparently, but blah.
So, I mean, that sounds like every wrestling company, there's never going to be a wrestling company where everyone's just happy and everything's going well. Everyone wants to be up the card, everyone wants to be champion, everyone wants to be on TV more. It's the nature of the beast. We need to learn that wrestling is just an industry where a lot of the time there's going to be people who are frustrated with what's happening, and that doesn't mean that the sky is falling on these companies. It just means that people want to be booked more and do more meaningful things, because that is what you want in this industry.
Because it's what happens often is like Fightful will publish a report being like, oh, morale's low right now, and then PW Torch will be like, actually somebody else said it's doing pretty well, and like some people are like, oh, one's correcting the other, and it's like, no, both are true.
Yeah, one person is booked on ROH and occasionally a Rampage. The other person has a regular Dynamite spot.
One will be much happier than the other. Morale from the perspective of one will be much higher than the other.
Yeah.
So the reason, I wouldn't say don't never believe, morale stories. I wouldn't go that far, but also like it's one or two people's perspective. It is not like the entire company. That it is simply the case that Sean Ross Sapp can't survey an entire company. He's like, no, I spoke actually to all 150 members of the AEW roster, and morale is down. It's down like 4% from last month on my morale index.
Yeah, exactly. I have a survey monkey every week. I send it through. Everyone puts a 1 to 10 how they're feeling morale-wise.
If anyone has a morale index, it's probably Brandon Thurston, really.
Yeah.
So as said, TNA will have a new lead-in starting in July. The show is called Raising the Roof, a comedy starring Michael Roof Jr. and his prank-pulling, beer-swilling backwoods family in Dunedin, Florida, who then all move to Hollywood as he goes in search of acting roles, and they have to adjust to life in Southern California.
Is it? It's like a sitcom.
I believe so, yes. Dave mentions it's like a modernized version of the Beverly Hillbillies is what they're going for.
I thought it was like a reality.
Maybe it is.
It is a reality show.
But so it is as scripted as a regular show, but
called Raising the Roofs.
Oh, Dave got the name wrong.
I don't know who Michael Roof.
Neither do I.
Featured review is a 10 out of 10.
It's the best show of all time, apparently.
Michael Roofs was apparently in Triple X and Black Hawk Down.
I've seen Triple X. I don't remember him or who he is.
His IMDb doesn't have a picture. So that's. He also did the Dukes of Hazzard.
This is another instance, like that poker show we were talking about that I already don't remember the name of, where I don't think a person on Earth remembers Raising the Roofs on Spy TV.
A quick RIP to our man Michael Roof.
If you are a listener and you remember Raising the Roofs, starring Michael Roof Jr. on Spike TV.
And if you're a big fan.
If you're like, I fucking loved that show, let us know. If you're like one of the 3 people on Earth that remember and loved that show, go for it. Let us know in Discord, Twitter, or whatever. Dave mentions stars of the new Beverly Hillbillies-like show that will be the lead-in for Impact starting in a few weeks. We're in the front row of the tapings, which were right after Slammiversary. Spike brought them to the taping because they wanted to use them to get the new show rolling. They were described as fat rednecks in the front row, always taking their shirts off.
For a company or a promotion or a TV show that isn't doing well, the network is going, we should use them to make the other show stronger.
Yeah, they're like, we would like to launch this new show, and we are putting the stars of the new show in the front row.
But, this show's doing so badly, so poorly.
Everybody hates TNA. Everybody should cancel TNA. They should make everyone different and book the show wrong.
Very good.
It's basically what I hear every time, and they're like, blah, 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 blah.
Is that what they sound like?
Exactly what they sound like. I think that's what BG James sounds like. I've just convinced myself. In the same way I've convinced myself all the old Asylum news was disco.
Yeah.
I've convinced myself all the new stuff now is BG James. Or maybe it's just always been BG James. He's been there the whole time.
He does seem whiny.